I wanted to offer you a word of encouragement. This has been on my heart to just share this with you. And so I wanted to offer you this word of encouragement, this little pep talk. You might need this in your life right now. Reality. It is so hard to live your life as a woman of faith. It is so hard to live your life as a woman who chooses differently, a woman who tries to choose virtue in her life, who goes the opposite end of the way that the world is going, who chooses all the things that the world says that's not going to make you happy. This actually is going to make you happy. It can be really challenging. And some of you might feel like really discouraged in this moment, and maybe you're the one person that needs to hear this, but I wanted to stop and remind you that it is worth it. When I was in college especially, I felt so tired of the challenge that it was to live life as a woman of faith. I was just exhausted of feeling like an outcast, of feeling like I'm doing everything different than everybody else. I was very, very tired of choosing to live differently. It didn't make me stop trying to live my life as a woman of faith, but man, I was just discouraged and I just felt like, whoa. This is the video that I would have needed to hear when I was in college for me to sit down and tell myself it is worth it. Now, when we choose to live life of a woman of faith, it can be so challenging. It can be really joyful, obviously, but it can be really challenging because the results of the work and the choices that we're making aren't seen in a day. When I'm choosing the really, really hard road, I'm not seeing those results often in a day. Those choices are choices that bear fruit over a lifetime, and they are worth it. It's so important to remember that when I'm being intentional about living a prayer life, I'm not going to just see the results in a day, that those come over time. When I'm choosing wisely, right? When I was choosing in college not to go out on the weekends and get drunk at parties, I wasn't seeing the results of that on the weekend because I felt really lonely and like I had no friends. I didn't see the results of that in a day, but in the scheme of my life, I've gotten to see the fruit that those decisions bore. It's really hard to remember that it's worth it in those moments where we feel like an outcast, where we feel lonely, when we feel exhausted of being the woman in the workplace because she has to speak up and stand up for her faith and for what she believes. It can be so exhausting, and you just want to be like, well, you know what? This is hard. This is really hard. I'm done with this, and I wanted to encourage you. Don't give up. I know it's hard, but not to be done with it, to continue to fight the good fight, to continue to choose what you know is right and good, and to continue to choose what you know is best for you and for your heart and for your mind and for your spirit, both in the short term and in the long term. Man, it's harder for some of us to live our life as a woman of faith than others based on the school we attend or based on our family or based on our circumstances. But the reality remains is that we are all in this together, making those difficult decisions to follow God with our lives and take the hard road, take the narrow path. That's not the easy path, but is the path that is so worthwhile. So I don't know which one of you needed to hear that today, but I wanted to give you that pep talk. Do not give up. Surround yourself with people who want to encourage you and support you on your journey of living your life as a woman of faith. That's way easier said than done, but it takes some intentionality and some time. Keep going. If there's anybody that's in this with you, it's me. Maybe we haven't met in person, but just know that I'm cheering you on, and that in my years of experience, I don't have a zillion years of experience, but in my years of living life as a woman of faith, I will say it again and again. It is totally worth it. So you keep that heart up and fight on. No matter how tough it gets, no matter how exhausted you are, do not give up. That's all for today. I'll talk to you soon. Bye.